Hello everyone, and I'm testing out, number one, the new position of my microphone. Same mic, but much closer to my face now, and I'm hoping that that greatly improves the sound quality for both voice comms and recording. Let me know if it does. And I'm also doing an example pit stop here in ACC because I did this video before. It was immensely popular, or at least by ESR standards it was immensely popular. But it was pretty bad because I was running it on the old PC at the time, which was not really in any way up to running both ACC and recording. So I've taken the liberty of kind of redoing this. Interesting note here. On the custom races, are the grids set? Because Merrick, number 31 Bentley, which looks really good, has been in every race I've done here. And he always starts in that spot unless I move myself. So he's always either 14th or 13th if I move myself behind him. Other positions change. Like, I don't think Maxi Vaxier has been historically on the front. I thought it was Dries Van Thorn before. And then, I don't know. It's interesting. Like, the grids towards the back seem to be, like, completely the same. And there's, like, a little bit of randomness up front. It's a bit interesting. So, anyways, what we have here is a... this will be a 20-minute race. I'm not going to show the whole race, I don't think. Or maybe I will. I don't know. But it won't be necessary. We have a 10-minute pit window, which means the pit window is going to open up at 5 minutes into the race and close with 5 minutes left because it centers itself on the halfway point. This is how the pit window always works. And this is going to require a driver change, fuel, and tires. Now, in our ESR online races, we only require tires because there's no driver swap because we're not doing an enduro-style series like that. And there's no fuel required. But you should take fuel because a pit stop in ACC, because of the Blancpain enduro rules and the driver swap it's kind of simulating to a degree, is taken into effect. So it's a 30-second pit stop regardless. Now, the pit stop can be longer than 30 seconds if you have damage or you're fueling up excessively for some reason. So it's not a set pit stop, but it's a set minimum pit stop length. You can't make it lower by taking fuel out, basically. So that's something to keep in mind. So let's just get into this, and I'll talk about it as we go on. And hopefully I don't miss the pits horribly. I am actually terrible at pits, so it's kind of ironic that my guides actually help people because I am terrible. Actually, hang on. I need to adjust the fuel because this setup that I loaded is for the longer. Yeah, there we go. So this race is going to take about 20 liters, and we'll go with a little bit extra. So we'll go 12 and 12 for our purposes. And yeah, let's get rolling here. 2.93 a lap. Let's go. So put her in gear, start the car up. Also, this squeaking sound is actually the footrest and not my chair, as most people were suggesting. Let's get rolling. Whoa. So the Aston Martin in second place there got off to a terrible start. And yeah, so I'm getting to run away with this a little bit, which is fine by me. Held me up, of course, to let everyone catch up. And here we go. Got a Bentley and an Audi coming up behind me. And I still have the Aston Martin to my side. Brake for turn one. And lost out to Maxi. I think it's Maxi Vaxier. Is that his name? I think so. I'm vaguely familiar with him from, of all things, Toyota Atlantic. And behind me I have Dries Van Thorn. I should be faster than the AI, although they are more consistent than me because I don't have a good feel for this track at all. It's kind of weird because I taught my my cousin Dragon, who did this race last season in ESR and actually did really well. Had a good fight with John Barker, who is much faster than me. So it's going to be really embarrassing when I take to the track tomorrow and do way worse than him. So, you know, just get ready for that. I await the tongue lashing in the comments when I come in, like, I don't know. We're expecting 50 cars, so I don't know, maybe somewhere in the 40s. That's going to be really embarrassing, but I'm ready for it. I am pretty terrible at this game. Also having some problems with my pedals getting 100% braking pressure, which is a little bit annoying. I've got a bit of a dead zone there now, but it feels like the pedal is slightly damaged towards its maximum, like its maximum limit, and how it takes pressure. So we are losing out quite a bit to Maxi Vaxvier, although I'm not under any real pressure from Dries Van Thorn, which is interesting. One would think the Audi should be stronger here than the Aston Martin, shouldn't it? And Dries Van Thorn, of course, with the WRT team, is a fantastic driver. So we're waiting for the 15-minute mark of the race to go for the pit, which is what we're really trying to show here. Would normally, running in second place, go for an early pit stop, but we'll go as early as we can. So that anyone who doesn't want to watch me race terribly doesn't have to. I noticed that they've added some additional things with stint time. I don't remember that being there before, which is interesting. Of course, this race is shorter than the maximum sit time, so that's not actually useful information for me. But it's neat that it's there. Also wondering how it chooses the second driver, to be honest, because the Ram team has more than 2 drivers, so it's not just Darren Burke and Tom Oslo Cole chose Darren Burke entirely because he kind of looks like a British version of me. You know, bald head, kind of a thick build. Not your stereotypical race car driver, which I respect. And he's bronze rated, which probably is where I am in reality. I've got a silver rating here, but and I don't know, maybe people would insist on me being a silver driver. Let's see, 46.7. Wow, okay. I have upped the skill level, I think, on the bots, because like before what I was running was I would be like higher top end than them and they'd be more consistent, but 46.7, that would be like my personal best. And yeah, I know I suck at Barcelona, but hey, you're not here to learn to drive, you're here to learn to do some like basic pit stop stuff. So we're coming up on the pit stop, so I'll pull up the pit stop menu here. This is the menu you have to control your pit stop. You can see you can choose which driver to swap to. Right now I'm swapping to Darren Burke, which is incorrect, but I don't think I can change that until the pit window actually opens, if I recall correctly. You can change brakes at your pit stop, change tires, refuel, repair any damage. I have no damage there. You can see also the time required, 30 seconds. Like I said, that's the bare minimum. You can't do less than that. Pit window is now open. There we are. It's swapped over to who my driver's changing to. You do not have to do the driver change in our online servers because it's not the type of racing we're doing. So I am going to run a couple laps after the pit stop just to show you something that I think is useful. So let's get ourselves in the pits here. I have automatic pit limiter on because, not because I think it's actually better, just because I don't have another button, frankly. So you see how my best lap there of a 48.5, that's going to disappear in the second stint here because it's going to kind of reset everything in that regard. So I could drop the fuel here. If I had a tire I was having problems with, I could drop the tire there as well, because the tires will go up a little bit in pressure as the race goes on, away from the maximum There we go. Got the pit stop kinda correct this time. This is my second shoot of this because I did a terrible pit stop the first time. If I could do this every time, I'd be happy with this. It's not perfect. I slowed down a little bit too much coming into the pits, and then I had like a brief hesitation there. So you have to turn the car off when you go in the pits. I recommend the ignition, but you can try and fight the starter and keep the ignition on if you want. It's a bad idea, though. So we're going to be back underway, and right, and restart. Here we go. So we're way off the back now. I just want to show you how the deltas are going to work. So we take off, and it's not going to show up this lap, so you're going to have to bear with me for like 2 more laps to see like the full thing I'm talking about here. And we can get rid of this. So we have done our pit stop, and you see how the yellow orange square there on the position chart is now no longer has a number, and B is turned green. That means you have successfully cleared your pit stop. You can now run to the end of the race without having to worry about pitting for anything. And if you don't clear that, it is going to eventually end up being a time penalty. I haven't figured out if the time penalty is somewhat dependent on the pit lane. For example, I imagine Spa has a massive time penalty because of how long its pit lane is. I would think that it's related to that. Also, I believe I've also seen 2 different pit stop or 2 different penalties applied. Oh, the Bentley is in the pits of Mr. Merrick. I don't know his first name. I want to learn his first name because that name is kind of neat. And I do really like that Team Parker number 31 Bentley. Some of the guys in the custom Bentleys. Come on, guys. Come on. The Team Parker stuff is cool. The Bullet Racing stuff is cool. What's going on here with all these customs? They look not good for the most part. I don't really understand it. But I'm going to try and not turn this into the Mike rants about custom liveries and ACC hour. So let's get rolling here and just show you what you need to know. So here we are. So cars exiting the pits. We've lost a tremendous amount of ground because I am slow. And we come out behind the car previously occupied by Merrick and now occupied by Getty. Hopefully we can at least make a short work of these. So you see how the delta up there is not moving. It's not telling me where I am in relation to that best lap of 48.5. That is because now that I'm on a new stint, it has cleared the delta related data from itself. So I have to put up this lap time, which is a legal lap, although because instead of the pit lap of 2:54 or whatever. I should check what other people are. Was it just like a terrible pit stop, or am I just that slow? That would be interesting. So we'll see. We'll see if when someone comes across the line. Van Thorn's in the pits. Well, at least I'm only slow compared to like the factory cars. I am catching up to the Team Parker Bentley, at least. Although, I kind of wonder how accurate the paces of these cars are, to be honest. Because, of course, that Team Parker Bentley is the only other one. Let's see here. Hall did a 2:47. Yeah, okay, so my pit stop was about 7 seconds slower than everyone else. I did a 2:54, so that was pretty bad. Although, interestingly enough, one of the Nissans is coming out quite behind where it was before. I think it was a fair bit ahead. So you see the delta counter is now actually working. You can see that up at the lap time there, where it's red, the red plus 0.17. So that's working again now that it has something to compare it to. So that's that. I don't think there's anything else I want to explain. Let me think over the course of this lap, maybe if there's anything else. Oh, that's a sloppy overtake attempt. Oh, might get it though. Oh, we did get it. Okay. I would not recommend that overtaking attempt. That was just a late... That was way too late on the brakes for safety. And again, I don't advise on speed, but I do have... As the guy who is going to be the steward and for this series, my thoughts on Racecraft are actually pretty important because it's going to be my point of view unless you want to take it to the review panel. And I'm actually going to have to ask who that is going to be for this series, because I don't know if one of our regular PL panel members is actually owns this game, to be honest. I think he does, but he's not racing with us. Okay, so I can't really think of anything else. And I've actually overtaken some people in the pit stop sequences, which is cool. So I don't know, maybe the Team Parker guys just actually got a really good stop in or something, because they're picking up spots, catching up to Nick Katzberg, who is. And this is not to say my pit stop was good. It was terrible. But it does seem like the AI actually has some differences in pit times, which is kind of interesting. I like that. I wonder if that's based on the team's performances in real life, or is there just a somewhat random element to it? I'm kind of curious. Anyways. Yeah, I got nothing else really to add. Good luck in tomorrow's race. Good luck in today's race if you're taking on Daytona with us in the DTMs. I think that's going to be a really fun race. If you have any questions, you can ask in the Discord, or you can leave comments on this video. And I, or someone else with access to the YouTube account, or one of the admins or whatever, will do our best to answer your questions. So thank you for joining me on this terrible journey through pit stops at Barcelona. Try to be better than me. And if you are better than me, then this video was a success. You got to see me do one terrible overtake on a Bentley. Hang on. You know what? I'm gonna go for it here on Matsuda. Let's see if I can end this video with looking like something less than a complete pleb. That would be ideal. Because we are... Well, only lost 4 seconds in the pits to Katzberg. That makes me feel a little bit better. I know you can use a lot more of that overrun on the on turn 1 there. But I don't know why. I don't know why it is. I've never been comfortable with using what my brain says is off track. Mike Stoffmill has lectured me a number of times. Same corner as we went for it on the Bentley, but nah, would have been a cleaner overtake, but not quite close enough. I am looking forward to tomorrow's race, I will say that much. If we can get 50 people on track, that is going to be either terrible because the server is going to look at me like, what are you doing to me? Or it's going to be awesome. And these are the picks. Got alongside Matsuda. Can I get him? No. He holds it around the outside. So everyone at this point would have... So you can see the pit window is closed. This would be where you'd be kind of a little bit screwed. You'd be looking at a time penalty to be added on. We got rid of the automatic DQ, at least. So we don't just DQ you anymore. You still have the chance to score points and whatever, but you are going to face a time penalty. And that does mean that... For example, if Matsuda here was looking at a time penalty, he probably wouldn't want to fight with me this hard. Although he is fighting me quite hard. He is Japanese, so if the typical Japanese race car driver things apply to Mr. Matsuda, he will be exceedingly hard to pass. But I have no idea how different the driver models are in this game. Mostly because, I mean, really, who you know, it'd be cool, but like, you want multiplayer functionality, not SP functionality in a racing sim. I'll take us to the end of the race here, and like I said, I'm probably not going to have anything interesting to say, and if I do, I'll put it in the comments, or I'll put it in the video description below. Come on! Oh, a little contact with the Nissan, and got it. Although I got a safety rating penalty. Not entirely loving the safety. I guess I should talk ratings. So to join our races, you require 1 rating and 1 rating only, which is track track rating. This just means you need to get 3 medals on the track we're doing. That's it. This is just to ensure that people have practiced before the race is all. And if they haven't, they're not going to be allowed in. We don't have a safety rating limit because, because frankly, we're doing stewarding, so if you offend the stewarding and get reported by your fellow drivers, you might be asked to sit out and be safer, because a lot of people are very new to ACC. Their safety ratings are not actually what they're going to be, frankly. CP is competition rating. You have to do special events for that. I think that's really only relevant if you're going for like a platinum overall rating. And then Racecraft. Racecraft is the weird one. It's the one that I actually like. You can set a limit on the server for it, but I've never figured out how to make it go up in any real way. Went online one night with a friend of mine, the original Aussie, Matt, or Steve, or the original Aussie Matt Wheeler, and we tried to farm Racecraft. Basically, we went on and we intentionally just didn't qualify for races, and tried to raise our Racecraft, because we both noticed that Racecraft was like this bizarrely low rating for us. His is higher than mine, but bizarrely low rating. And even after like overtaking some like weaker drivers and whatever, and doing what you would think would equal Racecraft, didn't raise it much. So that one's a bit of a mystery to me. Continuing on down, safety is don't hit anything and it'll go up. I mean, if I can get 87 with my terrible driving, you could probably get that a lot higher. PC is like doing leaderboards. That's your pace rating. Again, not something I really mess with much at all. I think like literally that 8 PC I've got is all from just like one leaderboard session, because they had like a car track combo that I was actually like fairly interested in, and that was it. Not going to catch Molina, so we slipped down to 9th place because of the bad pit stop, and then also probably taking way longer to get past Matsuda and Katzberg. CC is car control. Don't like how they handle that rating a little bit, because I think it's a little too fidgety. Like a lot of going fast to a degree involves a little bit of losing the car a little bit, breaking it loose just a tad, and it really penalizes you for that. CN's consistency, and TR we already covered. CN is just like how... I don't really know how to describe it. It's just drive in a relatively competent manner, lap after lap, and you'll be fine. So that was my ACC pit stop guide and random other ramblings. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the new mic position. If it's good, I'll keep using it. This is actually kind of unsafe what I'm doing, but there we go. We'll slow her down, let everyone else finish. S. Moore bringing up the rear in the Honda. Very accurate to real life. Behind 2 AM cars, though. That is gotta suck. You know, the Team Parker car ended up beating Augusto Farfus's BMW. That's stunning. Anyways. Yeah, that's all I got for here today. Review this if you need to for the... before the race, if you've never done a pit stop before. I know a lot of people were struggling with it. I know I struggle with it. I don't struggle with the mechanics per se of like picking things, but I do obviously, like I said, lost probably about 7 to 10 seconds to some cars, and that's obviously bad. But if you can get the stopping point correct, you can do it. And in the end, the R Motorsports cars did win, with Maxime Martin and Maxi Vaxivier. So I hope you guys found this, somebody found this useful or enjoyable. And if you want me to do more of these, please let me know. I can do Race Room, I can do ACC, I can do whatever sim you basically want, except for iRacing, because screw iRacing. I don't like the business model. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. Like, I feel like if I played iRacing, I would, like, abandon every other sim. And that would just be rude. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. And good luck in today's race, tomorrow's race, and all the races that you do in the future.